From Texoma's news leader, local, in-depth, community. You're watching KFDX3 News Today in high definition.
Good Tuesday morning to you, Texoma, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Deron Molen.
And I'm Brenna Donnelly. It's another warm morning. Yesterday was a record setter, wasn't it, Brian?
It was, as expected. We reached 92 degrees, tying the record. So 2017 has gone in history books again for a third month of records here in Texoma. All on the warm side, no cool records at all. For today, we're not exactly going to get into record territory, but it's still going to be quite warm across majority of Texoma. This morning, 64 degrees, clear and mild. We're going to start out with a southwest wind. That is going to shift eventually to the west, possibly around the noon hour. 79, partly cloudy skies. Still hot this afternoon. 89 as the wind shifts to the northwest, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Record, I think, today is 94, so we're not going to reach a record in Texoma. And western Texoma is going to be cooler as cooler air comes in behind a frontal boundary. We'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check back then. Brian, thank you.
A fire at the Lions Court Apartments last night sent one person to the hospital and damaged 2 apartments.
Fire officials say the fire started in the kitchen of one of the units just before 9. The complex sits at the intersection of Thompson Road and Morgan Lane, and fire officials say 2 units on one corner of the complex were damaged by that fire. Red Cross volunteers were on scene offering assistance to those who have been displaced. We're not sure about the condition of the victim at this time, but as soon as we know more, we will pass that information along. 3
people are recovering after a pin-in accident on US 82 yesterday afternoon. It happened around 12:45 near Clyde Morgan Road. Authorities say 2 cars hit head-on with both drivers and 1 passenger taken to the hospital. No information has been released on their names or their conditions. DPS officials say first responders had to pry open a door to get 1 victim out of their vehicle.
The Vernon College community lost 2 students over the weekend in a tragic crash, and 2 others remain in serious condition. 20-year-old Yancey McCussion and 19-year-old Vanita Trevino were killed in a car wreck along US 277 in Haskell County over the weekend. McCussion was a part of the rodeo team, along with 20-year-old Jacob Plummer of Wichita Falls and 20-year-old Drew Hill of Canadian. McCussion was the driver of a pickup pulling a horse trailer when DPS troopers say he failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by a motorhome towing a car trailer. Hill and Plummer are both still listed in serious condition.
This is a story not about Vernon College. This story is about 4 families, 2 that lost their children, and it's a very sad and unsettling time. 2 that are in the hospital waiting to see what's going to happen to their children. And so our job as Vernon College people is to be concerned, supportive, and tremendously respectful of their situation.
There's also a memorial fund set up for McCussion. Details on that are over on our website.
Vanita Trevino was from Petrolia, studying to be a nurse at Vernon College. Last night, the Student Nursing Association held a fundraiser at Texas Roadhouse where 10% of all the food purchases went toward helping nursing students like Trevino get scholarship opportunities. Vanita Trevino's funeral will be held tomorrow at 2 in the Petrolia High Auditorium. An account has also been set up at Fidelity Bank to help with expenses.
And down in Austin, lawmakers are considering a bill that would make it less expensive for Texans to get a permit to carry a gun. Texas has one of the highest fees for a handgun permit. In fact, only Arkansas and Illinois have higher fees.
Now, if this bill passes, Texas will have one of the lowest fees in the country. Matt McCulloch looked into how the possible change could affect future gun buyers.
The price for Texans to get a license to carry could be cheaper if Senate Bill 16 makes it through both chambers and is signed by the governor. The bill reduces the first-time fee for obtaining a handgun license from $140 to $40 and the annual renewal fee from $70 to $40.
The biggest thing that I've heard over the years of teaching, I've been doing this for 16 years, and the biggest thing that I've heard was, oh my gosh, it's going to cost me over $200 to get this license to carry.
Kathy Richardson teaches CHL classes once a week and has around 60 students a month. She says reducing the fees will encourage more Texans to get their permit.
I think it will if the price drops from 140 down to 40. I think you will see an increase.
But those against the idea of firearms aren't happy about the bill.
I don't think they should drop it. I think they should make it more expensive.
Doug Kelmer says he thinks more needs to be done to combat gun violence. His nephew is a sergeant with the Iowa Park Police Department, and he believes only law enforcement should be allowed to carry guns.
The more license you have, naturally the more guns you're going to have. I don't think they should, make it any easier for people to get a license to carry a handgun.
We asked viewers on our Facebook page what they thought about the proposed bill, and 67% said the lowered fees would make them more likely to get their license, while 31% say the price makes no difference. The bill received unanimous approval from the Texas Senate State Affairs Committee and now heads to the full Senate.
That was Matt McCulloch reporting. To find more details about this proposed bill, including suggestions from committee members about where portions of the fee should go, click on this story over on our website.
Shepherd Air Force Base will recognize a new leader today as 82nd Training Wing Commander Brigadier General Patrick Doherty relinquishes the colors to Brigadier General Designee Ronald Jolly from the Pentagon.
Doherty will take over command of the 19th Air Force, which is responsible for training more than 30,000 students annually, which includes the 80th Training Wing at Shepherd. He was previously stationed at the Pentagon as the Director of Air Force Services.
Jolly comes from the Pentagon, where he served as Associate Director at the Directorate of Resource Integration, Deputy Chief of Staff for Logistics Engineering and Force Protection. He served tours as an Air Base Wing Commander at Hill Air Force Base in Utah and as Military Assistant to the Secretary of the Air Force. He graduated in Lawton and was commissioned through the Air Force at Oklahoma State University. He will be given the colors at 9 a.m. today and hangar 1045.
Okay, Texoma, your time now is 6:37.
And let's check in with New York City and see what they're working on in the Today Show. Here's Matt Lauer with more. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Coming up on a Tuesday here on Today, breaking overnight, electronic devices banned from the cabin of certain flights into the United States. This morning, what we're learning about the threat behind those new restrictions. Also ahead, the famed Molen family opens up about the frightening training accident that injured several performers. And Nick joins us exclusively to make a big announcement about his future on the high wire. And how is Jill Martin going to top Monday's spring steals? This morning, a new batch of bargains for less than $50. All that much more ahead as we see you on a Tuesday morning, right here on Today.
All right, Matt, thank you.
It's also time to check in with meteorologist Brian Rupp and get an update on that 8-day forecast.
That's right, Darren. Take a look at the numbers as we begin this 8-day forecast. 89 degrees today, quite warm out there. A little cooler tomorrow, 78. Still considerably above normal for all of these numbers. Friday, we could see some strong thunderstorms according to the Storm Prediction Center. More details on that and your weekend when we return.